Hello and welcome back to Cars of Glasgow, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Renault Twingo. It's the third generation, so stay tuned for this video. So if we start off with the front of the cars, you can see the third generation is a lot more modern than the previous two. The first gen came out in the late 90s and the mid noughties with the second gen. Third gen actually shares its platform with the Smart ForFour, which is quite convenient. The Mercedes and Renault went into partnership for that, and this is what the outcome is. The front end of it, you can see with the big Renault badge up front. This car does have fog lights down here, and then you've got your main beam and nice wee headlights there. Interesting enough, the engine's round the back of the car, so it's a bit like a Porsche 911 of city cars. If I take a quick walk around, got a short front nose. You can see how far out these wheels have been pushed to the edges. As a city car, so the wheelbase is almost as long as the car. You've got a very short overhang. Makes handling easier and parking, obviously, without the snout. I love this decal running along the length of the car. It's part of the Iconic package. And the Iconic package is actually the top of the range model for the Twingo, and that's actually based on the dynamique, so it just adds a couple of little flourishes. And I believe this paint's actually called Ultraviolet, which is quite cool. If you have a wee look in the sunlight, hard to see. The car's riding on nice cute little 16-inch alloy wheels, which are actually quite big for the size of the car. We move around to the boot of the car, you get this glass panel, quite like how it says Twingo across here. It's all nice big windshield glass, a bit like the Citroen C1 back in the day, and a bit like I think the Igo as well from memory had the glass back. So in first glance there's no obvious way to open the boot, however if you put your little finger under here in between the M and the 2, it pops open. As I mentioned before, being rear engine rear wheel drive, all the excitement happens underneath. So under here does get quite hot. If I try and lift this up a bit, and obviously you need to get a garage to undo all that, but that's why you've got such thick padding, because that in the boot does get hot, so you won't be carrying your ice cream in there. And the boot opens up. As you can see, typical for a city car, it's quite small, but it's actually not too bad considering the size of the car overall. And with the seats up at least, you've got 219 litres of space. Probably you can see is enough for cockery and a bag of groceries. And if you put all the seats down, you're going to end up with 980 litres of boot space. But obviously at a touch of a button, so you can pull the lever inside, which I'll show you in the back. You can pull down. Parcel shelf's a little bit light and almost like fabric, a bit like the Lexus CT in that respect, but nothing too sturdy. It's not going to hold your pineapples or your parcels up there. You've got a little grab handle inside, just so you can hold it down, save your finger marks going in the glass once you've washed it. As you can see, you've got nice exposed little bolts up here. Almost gives it a little bit of a utilitarian feel, and obviously access as well if you needed to change this later date, if you're going to be the second or the third or the fourth owner. Pull this down, and if we jump down, we've got one little exhaust outlet on the left, pointing down away from any pedestrians of a city car. Not really got any sporting credentials for dual pipes or quad pipes. Anybody who's curious, here's a little fuel filler cap. Put your key in, and it's unleaded petrol, obviously. So the Twingo's a strictly dickly 4-door, or 4-seated as well, 2+2. Got proper handles up front, but I quite like how they're curved in, a bit more aerodynamic. And round the rear, the handles may not be obvious, however actually in the C-pillar, up here, like so. So if we jump into the front of the car, we'll jump in. And again, being the Iconic trim, we've got part leather seats that's given me from the smart car that we looked at previously. I'll link that video below. You can see the kind of, it looks a bit like the Mercedes-Benz MB Tex leather. We've got nice ultraviolet piping throughout, and we've got white accents as well throughout the cabins. We've got that on the seats. We've got nice white accents on the door panels, which at first I wasn't sure about, but then it reminds me of a penguin, which is also kind of cute. And we've also got the ultraviolet continuing again into the floor mats with a cute little Twingo logo embroidered into the carpet, which is quite cool as well. And again, the wee Renault door sill. So we'll jump in. This is, as I said, this is basically dynamic, and it's one of the top of the range, or it is the top of the range Twingo. Obviously you can get options like your sat nav, you can put your phone there and obviously use your Google Maps, etc. So this is the key for the Renault, a bit like the Capture and the Clio. I like that kind of creamy colour they've got. Switchblade, down on the right. We'll give it a second and start the car up. And the engine's in the back, so it's an unusual feeling for having the vibration in the rear. Just put the windows down a bit to get a bit of air going. So while we're in the cabin, we may as well start off with the gauge. As you can see, it's got a nice semicircle kind of appearance, very similar to the Smart car, or Smart ForFour. Got a little truck computer in there, which is the LCD display, obviously saying service in 20 days, but because of the situation we're in, it might be a wee bit longer for the service. But anyway, digress. As you can see, you've got a nice spread out tachometer. You can see 40s right in the middle, so obviously there's not much ambition here for a 200mph car. But everything's nice and easy to read in the rev counter. I quite like the blue accents as well, or the ultraviolet accents again throughout the cabin here. Just nice little touches over the steering wheel, and again on the passenger side. Air vent. Overall build quality isn't too bad. Obviously going to be one of the cheapest Renaults you can buy new before they're discontinued. It obviously is the fact it's a little bit harder than maybe something you get a Capture or something like that, or even like a Volkswagen Polo or whatever, but I think it does the job quite nice, and it's nice and texturised. And again, I mentioned before, I quite like the white. It brightens up the cabin, and if you're having any thoughts, think of a penguin. So the Iconic trim's adding things like electric wing mirrors with electric windows, which is handy. We've got a decent size glove. Oops. So this Iconic trim adds things like the part leather seats, the piping that we showed you, special door sill, the floor mats with the little Renault Twingo that I showed you on the way in. Also get things like your cruise control, your speed limiter, which are down here. At the touch of a switch, it pops up, so there's your limiter. Turn it to the left, cruise control pops up. And I believe that button was in the Mark II Twingo as well, so they've reused that. This looks like it'd be for coins if you still use them. No contactless here. A little blank button here that doesn't lift up or anything, which I'm not sure what that would be for. Down here we've got two cup holders, ignore the keys. A little space, you could put a map or something like that. Quite a lot of storage actually for such a small car down here. This is nice and simple to use. We've got the radio, it's up here, push it on.
Lockdown rules relax. So in Scotland, people from 2 households can now get together as long as they're outside and keep it
down. There we go. Radio media set up, all a touch of a button. A little bit old school in terms of maybe how it looks, but it all works fine, so I wouldn't worry about that. And obviously you can turn the volume up and down, and OK, and turn it off. Down here we've got your temperature, climate controls. Got it in cool today, being one of the hottest days in Scotland right now. Rear defrost, front demist there, direction of airflow, aircon's on at the moment, fan speeds. It comes out nice and cool from all the vents. Let's turn that down a little bit so you can hear me. Speaking of the vents, interestingly the side ones are directional, closing like so, but the top ones are actually rigid and flat. You can't do anything apart from turn them left and right. And while we're up here, there's your door locks and your hazards. Right in the centre, I guess that's a cost saving exercise, so Renault can switch it from left and right hand drive at the touch of a button. And again, there's a button there for cruise control once you've actually set it down here. Set the speed you're going and it will hold along nicely. Quite nice to have that feature in such a small car. I remember my Polo never actually had that back in the day, so that's quite nice. You can get an automatic, but I'd personally recommend the manual, as it's so fun to use and light. To use the clutch is quite light to go, and it's a 5-speed, and all the way back and down for reverse. Got a manual handbrake, which is rare to see in this day and age, but that's a nice touch. And again, I get a little power output here, and another cup holder for either rear passengers or your extra slushy if you're feeling nice and hot and want something to cool down, or you're feeling greedy. Overall build quality isn't too bad. If you know what going in, what you're expecting, you're not expecting anything super high quality, and it's just a nice car to get from A to B, and it's a nice wee city car. So there's not much blind spots, thin pillars, etc. The roof lining actually isn't too bad, it's just kind of a grey fabric, but not much sound deadening. And then we've got the mirrors, which sadly none of them have got a little light above them, but hey ho. But they do turn off if they come off the thing, so you can pull it like so. And it's manual adjustment to down your mirror like so, just pull that up and down. I think that's pretty much covered the inside here. We'll have a quick look at the back. As I said, you pull this handle on the C-pillar and it jumps up. This is ideally or strictly a 2+2 configuration, so you've got 2 seats in the back. If you are going to be carrying people often, I'd maybe suggest, oh pardon me, jumping up. As you can see, it's in my driving position and my knees are pretty much banged up against the rear seat, so it's really ideal for short journeys. Headroom actually is quite impressive because of that boxy design. Plenty of headroom. I said again 5'11", but 2 fingers worth there. And you can have 2+2. There's not actually any seat belt in the middle, so it is only one at each side. You could obviously fit a child seat here, and young kids will be fine, but adults probably wanting to go up a side into a Clio, Megane, or even like a Golf, that kind of thing, to carry adults regularly in the back. And interesting, when you're back here as well, the rear window pops out like so, which is a cute little touch. You don't always see that these days. And you've got a little grab handle on the door there, and you've got on the handle we've even got a Twingo embossed kind of silhouette there, which is pretty cool. This is the kind of car Doug DeMuro would go nuts over. Oh, little cool features all there. Quirks and features, this car is definitely quirky. And I like how Renault give you a little integrated spoiler, and actually this was kind of designed coincide with Renault Sport, this kind of sporting division, so the fun is kind of built into the Renault. If you look at the front, you'd think being rear engine there'd be rear space, but there's actually a lot of gubbins under here. I think you pull out from memory. These little guys pop out at a touch of a button, which is not easy. There we go. So you'd get the key, put that in, and pull these levers, and the engine or the bonnet pops forward. So I'll quickly show you guys how to open the front. Pull this lever forward and down. And you've got 2 little levers there. To unlock it, you get the key fob, stick that in. Forward and like so, and that's the access you've got when you're in there, so you can reach this. It's going to top up. Just want to quickly show you how that looks to access the front. So it feels like a missed opportunity. Renault and Smart could have developed this a little bit to give you a little bit of a frunk or a fruit if you're in the UK, kind of a front opening to give a bit extra boot space. Join me inside the Renault Twingo, obviously being a manual, phone through the gears at the moment. It's quite sprightly around town. I love how big the gauge is, especially because everything's put up, usually the 10, 20 and 30 are quite condensed, whereas this is quite spread out. I actually thought I was going 30 when I was actually going 25 there, just because of how wide the spacing is. On the road it's so nimble around town, it's crazy light. Obviously being a very lightweight city car, it's very chuckable. I am using the centre mounted what do you call it, phone stand that comes with the car, so apologies for it being a little bit different from a normal display, but I thought I'd give it a try. But honestly the car's very light. As I said, the road noise isn't too bad, especially around town. I've been in this car on the motorway and it is a little bit lacklustre in terms of performance on the road. So we'll set off again, letting our van pass. So yeah, the clutch is nice and light, very light, the steering very direct. Like my first ones I noticed, it's very refreshing to get in a nice chuckable car. And because it's small dimensions, you can easily leave it out of traffic, you can do anything to it. There's hardly any blind spots at all in it. Obviously there's no sensors or anything like that in this car, but it's quite nice just to... But it's fine, you can hear that 0.9 litre come to life, you put the foot down. Doesn't sound too bad actually. The main takeaway from this is the fact that it's rides really well for this kit, considering the size of the car being a little city car. So the turning circle is amazing. It's actually on par with a London taxi, would you believe it or not. So that's pretty impressive. I'm definitely noticing it's one of the easiest things, especially in comparison to like an Lexus IS, which is a daily drive. This is just a different ballgame of how nimble it is and light in its feet. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on the Renault Twingo. It's a little bit fun to do one during quarantine, but I thought may as well, or not during quarantine, during this kind of lockdown situation. Wanted to get a cool car out to you guys, something a little bit different. I had a city car on the channel for a while now, and it's quite nice just to hop into one of these little fun cars, especially flowing through manual gearbox. I've not done that in ages, so that's pretty fun. It's just such a fun little car, because we smile on my face. So thanks very much for watching this video on the Renault Twingo. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to CarsofGlasgow below. Also don't forget to check out my Renault Twingo RS video in the 2nd gen. I'll leave that link below. And also check out the Smart ForFour if you're considering this car. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next video. Ciao!